Before we hop right into lettering and playing with our paints, it's important to understand a couple things about watercolors. First of all, as the name indicates, watercolors react with water. Most watercolors can be reactivated with water, meaning that you can actually manipulate them again after they have dried simply by adding water. Watercolor paints are also transparent. This transparency varies from shade to shade. It's a great idea to experiment with your watercolors before lettering to gain an understanding of how transparent your particular colors are. As you can see me demonstrating here, the transparency of my colors varies based on how much water I have added to them. Basically, you need to be aware of the ratio of water to paint, and that will give you a good understanding of just how intense your colors will be. A fantastic way to get to know your colors is by creating a swatch library. All you have to do is to create swatches of your colors and let them dry. This will give you a pretty good understanding of what they will look like. One of the wonderful things about watercolors is the way they interact with each other. Because watercolors have a degree of translucency to them, it is important to understand color theory. When you allow different colors to interact with each other when they're wet, you will see them blend and create new colors. This is part of the fun. Having an understanding of basic color theory will help you make sure that those new colors that are created are what you want and not just a muddy brown or black. Let's take it back to art class and take a quick crash course in color theory by looking at this color wheel. In case you've forgotten, the primary colors are red, yellow, and blue. By mixing these primary colors, we get secondary colors like green, purple, and orange. Lastly, there are tertiary colors, which are basically colors that have more of one primary color in them than the other, like yellow-green versus blue-green. Knowing basic color theory can help prevent you from making mistakes when blending your colors. For example, choosing complementary colors or colors on the opposite side of the wheel from each other, like blue and orange, would be great for graphic design or in pairing elements of your letter design, but they would not be great to pair together in the same word. This is because when you mix complementary colors, you get some form of black. Sometimes it's a cool look, but if it's not what you want, it can feel like a mistake. Analogous colors are nice because they are near each other on the color wheel, so they usually create beautiful blends. For example, I love combining pink, orange, and yellow to create a beautiful sunset look. Choosing a color scheme that is more monochromatic is probably the easiest, as it is varying shades of the same color. You still get a beautiful blend because of the natural translucency of the watercolors, but it looks like it was harder to achieve than it actually was. This is a fantastic place to start. That being said, experimentation is part of the fun, so test out your colors, let them blend, and see what combinations you get. An important thing to keep in mind when considering which watercolors to invest in is if it's important that your work doesn't fade over time. If you want lasting vibrancy, look for the term light fast. Like I mentioned in the supplies video, watercolor inks and dyes tend to fade over time because they are usually not light fast. Most light fast watercolors are pigment based. Both types are easily reactivated with water if you let them dry in your palette, but you will notice some specks of pigment that you will need to blend out in your pigment based watercolors as opposed to the dyes which reactivate smoothly. Now that you understand some important aspects of watercolors, let's review some brush lettering techniques.